It's game of the week. Today we will be in Kansas City as the Royals take on the Boston Red Sox. Last month, the Royals had a 12-game winning streak that pushed them ahead of Oakland for first place in the American League West. They followed that up with a 5-game losing streak, which allowed California, who right now has an 8-game winning streak, to pass them up to move into first place. But Kansas City's won their last two, including winning last night 6-5 in 10 innings against Boston. Yeah, let's see what the in the ninth inning yesterday, Boston was down 5-4 in the ninth inning, and they were able to score the tying run on an error by pitcher Ken Tatum. I'm sorry, by pitcher Tom Abernathy. And then in the bottom of the 10th, with one out, Richie Scheinblum singled. And then Ed Kirkpatrick followed with a single. Paul Schell grounded into a force play. Boston wasn't able to turn a double play, and Cookie Rojas singled, scoring the winning run. And that gave Kansas City the win, 6-5. The big story in the National League this week was on Wednesday at Wrigley Field. Rookie Bert Hooton came to within one out of pitching a no-hitter, but Matty Alou singled, ending the no-hitter. So Bert Hooton came out of the game with a one-hitter. Kansas City right now is in second place. They're a game and a half behind California. California has won their last 8 in a row. They're playing in Cleveland today. And their follow right behind Kansas City is Minnesota, who is 2.5 games behind in third place. Boston's in fourth place. They have a 3-game losing streak going. They're 7 games behind the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles. Boston fans are unhappy. There was like clubhouse drama last season. And then the Red Sox followed that with an unpopular trade with the Brewers. And the fans right now are kind of staying away. Another National League story in Pittsburgh. Roberto Clemente needs 13 hits to reach 3,000. So I've been keeping my eye on that. He went 4 for 4 yesterday with 2 home runs. We'll be back in a moment with the starting lineups. We're at Municipal Stadium in Kansas City as the Royals take on the Red Sox. Marty Patton starts the game for Boston. He's made 11 starts on the year. He's 4-2 with an ERA of 3.04. He came over in the big trade with the Brewers. This is his first start against Kansas City. He'll be opposed by Dick Drago. He's made 10 starts. He's 6-4 with an ERA of 3.93. This is his first start against Boston. It's 89 degrees. We have wind speeds of 8 miles per hour in from right center field. Starting lineup for the visiting Boston Red Sox. Leading off the center fielder Tommy Harper. Batting second to second baseman Doug Griffin. Batting third to catcher rookie Carlton Fisk. Batting fourth to right fielder Reggie Smith. Batting fifth to third baseman John Kennedy. Batting sixth to left fielder Phil Gagliano. Batting seventh the shortstop Luis Aparicio. Batting eighth to first baseman Danny Cater. And batting ninth to pitcher Marty Patton. On defense, the Royals have John Mayberry at first, Cookie Rojas at second, Fred Patek at short, Paul Shaw at third, Lou Piniella in left, Amos Otis in center, Richie Scheinblum in right, Carl Taylor catching, and on the mound, Dick Drago. Drago's a fastball pitcher. He's a record of 6-4 with an ERA of 3.93. He's given up 60 hits in 71 innings. He's walked 16. He has struck out 42. He's pitching on short rest. The Royal, they have an entire pitching staff of tired arms right now. Drago won 4 in a row, but he lost his last start. That was against Minnesota on May 30th. He got 4 innings in, gave up 6 hits and 6 runs. This is Saturday, June 3rd, 1972. The fan atmosphere in Kansas City is pretty high right now. Got new ballpark. Royals expected to be playing in their new ballpark sometime this season, possibly after the All-Star game, but it's not going to be ready until next season. Chiefs have a new stadium as well, and that one may not be ready in time for the preseason games, but they're expected to get started when the NFL regular season starts playing there. The Chiefs have won the last 2 Super Bowls. The NBA's coming to Kansas City. Shortly before the last NBA season ended, the Cincinnati Royals were purchased by interest in Kansas City. They're moving to Kansas City for the 72-73 season. Whether they remain the Kansas City Royals or will change their name remains to be seen. Kansas City may have 2 Kansas City Royals teams next year. And the NHL Board of Governors is meeting next week. They're announcing 2 expansion clubs to start playing in the 73-74 season. And Kansas City has suddenly became the top contender to get a new franchise. They had 4 solid offers that suddenly jumped to 8. And Kansas City has 3 different ownership groups trying to land a team. So they came out of nowhere, and they're expected to be starting playing in the NHL. Not this season coming up, but the following season. And the Kansas City Royals, this is their 4th season. And last year, it looked like things might start coming together. And Bob Lemon, the manager, was singing that team's praises all last year, just saying, watch for us, watch out for the Royals. And this year, suddenly, they surged and they're spent some time in first place. And with their losing streak, they got knocked down to third place, but they've clawed their way back up into second place. And the first place Angels just put their top starter, Andy Messersmith, on the disabled list. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it looks like it could be an exciting race going all the way down to the end of the year, like it did last year. The AL West was the only division that actually had any kind of race, and that turned out to be Chicago against Oakland, and Chicago's really struggling this year. And Oakland spent a little bit of time in first place, but now they dropped to fourth place, but they're playing above 500 again, so they're 6 games back. So we'll see what happens with them. Leading off the game will be Tommy Harper. He's hitting .224 with 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. He came over to Boston from Milwaukee. He was a Rookie of the Year back in 1973, or 1963, sorry. And just as a reminder, that trade was the Brewers traded minor leaguer Pat Scrabble and then Luke Krause and Marty Patton, along with Harper, to the Red Sox for Ken Brett, Bill Canigliaro, Joe LaHoo, Jim Lonborg, Don Pavletich, and George Scott. And as I mentioned, that trade's been unpopular in Boston. Harper has a batting average of .224 with 5 home runs and 16 runs batted in. Here's the first pitch from Drago. Hits a grounder right back to the mound. Drago throws him out. 1 out. That brings up Doug Griffin, the second baseman. He's hitting .293. No home runs, 14 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. Liner down at third base line. That's foul. Griffin hits a base hit into left field. Shaw wasn't able to get to that one. So we have 1 out, runner on first. That brings up rookie Carlton Fisk. He's hitting .282. 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in. He's already being looked at as one of the favorites to win the Rookie of the Year in the American League. Strike one called on a fastball. In the dirt and outside, ball one. Fisk gets fly ball into center field. Otis coming in. He's got it. 2 outs. Dick Drago has been with Kansas City since the start in 1969. He went 14 and 19 last year with an ERA of 3.22. He had 18 complete games out of 36 starts. He had a pretty decent season with them. That brings up Reggie Smith, the right fielder. He's hitting .226, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. It's a fly ball down the right field line. That is hooking foul. Ball one, inside. There goes Griffin. The throw from Taylor. Griffin's safe. That's his 5th stolen base of the year. That pitch was a strike, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball down the left field line. That is hooking foul. Inside. Ball 2 on a changeup. Ball 3, full count, 2 outs. Fouled that one back. Count remains full. Full count, 2 outs. Runner on second. Ball 4. First walk given up by Dick Drago. That brings up John Kennedy, the third baseman. He's hitting .350. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. Remember back in 1972 pulling a card of John Kennedy out of a pack of cards that I bought and looking at it and thinking, wasn't he shot? I'm like, it's like, that can't be the president playing for the Red Sox. Even though I knew that JFK was from Boston. But when you're like 7 or 8 years old, I don't know. Curveball, strike one called. Pops it up. Taylor throws his mask away. He's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Drago worked himself out of a jam that inning. We played a half inning in Kansas City. Boston nothing, Kansas City coming up. Starting lineup for the Royals, leading off the first baseman, or the center fielder, Amos Otis. Batting second, the left fielder, Lou Piniella. Batting third, the right fielder, John Mayberry. Batting fourth, Richie Scheinblum. Richie Scheinblum has the highest batting average in the majors right now. Batting fifth, the catcher, Carl Taylor. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Cookie Rojas. He got the winning hit last night in the Royals' 10-inning win over the Red Sox. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Paul Shaw. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Fred Patek. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Dick Drago. On defense, Boston has Danny Cater at first, Doug Griffin at second, Louis Aparicio at short, John Kennedy at third, Phil Gagliano in left. He's taken the spot of Carl Yastrzemski. Yaz is on the disabled list, but he's expected to come off at sometime this week coming up. Center field is Tommy Harper. In right field, Reggie Smith. Carlton Fisk catching in on the mound, Marty Patton. Patton is a fastball, curveball pitcher who can mix it up. He keeps the ball low. He gets a lot of ground outs, which is good for Fenway Park. He's 4-2 with a record of 3, with an ERA of 3.04. He's pitched 83 innings, given up 72 hits. He's walked 16. He's struck out 55. He came over from Milwaukee and got off to kind of a rough start. So he pitched all right. He had a couple of he had 2 rough outings early on, but his last outing was against Milwaukee, his old team, and Red Sox won that game, but he got a no decision. He pitched 8 innings, he gave up 10 hits and 1 run. He walked none, he struck out 4. Leading off for Kansas City is the center fielder, Amos Otis. Otis is hitting 196, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. Hits a grounder to short. Aparicio has it to throw to first. Got him, 1 out. That brings up the left fielder, Lou Piniella. Piniella's hitting 357, 5 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Piniella hits a base hit into center field. That brings up John Mayberry, the first baseman. He's hitting 338, 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Mayberry was a part-time player in Houston in 1970 and 71. Came over to Kansas City, and he's been playing so well. Kansas City traded their former regular first baseman, Bob Oliver. Mayberry hits a grounder to second. This could be 2. To second for 1. The first double play, 4-6-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We played 1 inning here in Kansas City, no score. Phil Gagliano leads off for the Red Sox. He's hitting 400, no home runs, 9 runs batted in. This is his second year with the Red Sox. Before that, he was a career National Leaguer, playing for the Cardinals and the Cubs. Looks like he has primarily been used as a pinch hitter this year. And like I said, Yastrzemski is on the disabled list right now. And it looks like he's been spelled by Gagliano and then a couple of young players, Rick Miller and Ben Ogilvie. The 0-2 pitch. Shallow fly ball into right field. Scheinblum coming in. Rojas going back. Scheinblum has it. 1 out. That brings up Luis Aparicio, the shortstop. He's hitting .237. 1 home run, 12 runs batted in. Luis Aparicio, he was the Rookie of the Year back in 1956. That would have been when my dad was in the 8th grade. He's had 2 separate stints with the White Sox. Played also with the Orioles, and he came to Boston last year. He has had an excellent career. He got himself into 4 World Series in his career. 57 and 60 with the White Sox and 66 and 67 with the Orioles. So I think 57, 60, White Sox won those series, and Baltimore lost in 66 and then won in 67. So he's been on 3 World Series champions. And he is still highly regarded. The 1-1 pitch, fly ball down the left field line. That's foul. Municipal Stadium in Kansas City. Players hate to come here. It's hot. The lighting stinks for night games. They say there's huge mosquitoes. They are really looking forward to a new ballpark next year. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. First strikeout for Dick Drago. Here's Danny Cater, first baseman. He's hitting .200. 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. He came over to Boston from the Yankees in the trade for Sparky Lyle. He's been struggling since he came to Fenway. Another deal that the Red Sox fans are not happy about it. Cater has made no bones about it. He does not like playing in Boston. It's a grounder to short. Patek throws him out. Nothing across for Boston in the second. Bottom of the second, be the heart of the order for Kansas City. Scheinblum, Taylor, and Rojas. Richie Scheinblum, he's hitting .413, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. He leads major leagues in batting right now. Scheinblum had several abbreviated years with Cleveland and one with Washington. His 1 year before 1972, when he was a regular, was in 1969 with the Indians. He had 195 that year. He always looked like he was like on the brink of becoming a good player. And he is realizing that this year. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball into right field. Smith going back. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Carl Taylor. He's making his first appearance of the season for the Royals. He was called up on May 26th. See who else. Let me see what Taylor did last year. Last year, Taylor got into 42 games for Kansas City, hit 122. Before that, he was with Pittsburgh in 1968 and 69 and St. Louis in 1970. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hits a hard grounder to short. Aparicio has it, throws him out. 2 outs. And here's Cookie Rojas, the second baseman. He's hitting 184, 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Rojas was a long-time National Leaguer. Came to Kansas City early in the 1970 season from the Cardinals. And he has played pretty well with Kansas City. His best year was 1965 with the Phillies when he hit 325. The 2-0 pitch, grounder to first. Cater has it, he'll take it himself. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for Kansas City in the second. We played 2, no score. Marty Patton, the pitcher, leads off for Boston in the third. Patton is hitting 148, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in. He's 4 for 27. 2 of his 4 hits are doubles, and 2 of his 4 hits were home runs. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball into left field. Pinella's there. He's got it. 1 out. That brings up Tommy Harper, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out to Drago in the first. The 0-2 pitch. Soft grounder to third. Shaw has it. And he's going to hold it. Harper's on first with an infield single. Harper is always a threat to steal. Back in 1969, he played with the Seattle Pilots. And he had the green light from manager Joe Schultz the whole year. Schultz never gave him the steal signal. Never gave him the hold signal. So Harper stole 92 bases in 1969. In my APC universe, going back to 1940, I believe that's the AL record for stolen bases in a season. Maury Wills has the record, the Major League record with the Dodgers. I think in 1959, he had about 110 that season. Harper followed that up in Milwaukee with under Dave Bristol, getting 34 stolen bases in 70 and 31 last season. And he has 6 so far this season under manager Eddie Casco. Doug Griffin lays down a bunt. Drago has it as only plays the first. 2 outs. Harper takes second on the sacrifice. That brings up the catcher Carlton Fisk. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to Amos Otis in the first inning. Liner down the first base line. That's foul. Too high. Ball 1. Little blooper into left field. Base hit. Harper rounds third. He'll score. It's 1-0 Boston. That brings up Reggie Smith, the right fielder. Smith walked in the first inning. Change up. There goes Fisk. Taylor's throw. He is safe. That's his second stolen base of the year. Count is 0-1 on Reggie Smith. Too high, ball one. Curveball, little liner to second, right at Rojas. 3 outs, but Boston gets 1 run. 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It's Boston 1, Kansas City nothing. Bottom of the order for Kansas City in the third. Shaw, Patek, and Drago. Paul Shaw is hitting 186. 5 home runs, 21 runs batted in. The 1-2 pitch. Liner into left field. That's base hit for Shaw. That brings up Fred Patek, the shortstop. He's hitting 233. No home runs, 5 runs batted in. At 5'4", Fred Patek. He's the shortest member of the major league players. Fouls it back, strike one. This is Patek's second year with Kansas City. He came over to the Royals from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Grounder to third. Kennedy to his left. The throw to second for 1. No throw to first. So 1 out. Runner on first. That brings up the pitcher, Dick Drago. Drago is 1 for 24 on the year with 2 runs batted in. Playing him in for the bunt. He's a good bunter. Patek go. Patek with his 8th stolen base of the year. Pitch is called a strike, so no balls, 1 strike. That's below the knees, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Ball 3. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Full count. Drago hits a grounder to second. Griffin has it, throws him out. 2 outs. Patek takes third. That brings up Amos Otis, the center fielder. He grounded out to Aparicio in the first inning. Hitting 286 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Fly ball in the center field. Harper drifting over, he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 3 here in Kansas City. The Red Sox 1, the Royals nothing. Take a look around the league. Top of the 6th in Baltimore. The Orioles lead the A's 2-1. That's Vita Blue making his 3rd start after coming back from his holdout against Jim Palmer. Palmer's 3-4. He's looking to get back to the 500 mark. Bottom of the 5th, Tiger Stadium. Twins and Tigers are tied at 2. Top of the 6th in Philadelphia, the Reds lead the Phillies 2-0. That's Wayne Simpson against Wayne Twitchell. Top of the 4th in Milwaukee, no score between the Rangers and the Brewers. That's Rich Hand against Jim Lonborg. Top of the 5th in New York, the Braves and Mets are tied at 1. That's Ron Schuler against Jim McAndrew. Bottom of the 3rd at Comiskey Park, White Sox 2, Yankees nothing. Rick Reichart hit his 2nd home run of the year for the White Sox. That's Fritz Peterson against Tom Bradley. And bottom of the 4th in Cleveland, Angels 6, the Indians 2. That is Rudy May against Steve Hargan. California has won their last 8 in a row. For Boston in the 4th, it will be Kennedy, Gagliano, and Aparicio. Kennedy's 0 for 1 today. He popped out to Carl Taylor in the 1st inning. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. That brings up Phil Gagliano. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to Richie Scheinblum in the 2nd inning. He lays down a bunt. Mayberry has it. His only plays the 1st. He throws to Rojas covering. 1 out. John Kennedy advances on the sacrifice. That brings up Luis Aparicio, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd inning. Caught the outside corner, strike 1. Breaking ball, high and inside, ball 1. Ball 2 on a changeup. It's a blooper into left field, base hit. Kennedy rounds 3rd. He's heading for home. They throw into the cutoff man. It's the 2nd one today that it looks like Shaw got a late break on. It brings up Danny Cater, who's 0 for 1. He grounded to Patek back in the 2nd. Low and outside, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. Strike 1 called on a fastball. Ball 4. Drago struggling a little bit this inning. That'll bring up the pitcher, Marty Patton. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to Amos Otis in the 3rd. That was the 3rd walk given up by Drago and the 2nd walk given up this inning. They're playing Patton in for the bunt. He lays one down. Taylor throws a Patek covering 3rd to throw to 1st. Not in time. As Patton bunts into a force play. Cater takes 2nd. Patton's on 1st. 2 outs. And here's Tommy Harper, who's 1 for 2 with a single. He singled and scored in the 3rd. Change-up, ball 1. Base hit in right center. This makes it into the gap, all the way to the wall. Cater scores. Patton comes around. He scores. Harper is in 2nd with a stand-up double. It's 4-0 Boston. That brings up Doug Griffin. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the 1st, and he hit a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. Caught the inside part of the plate, strike one. Too high, ball one. Fly ball down the left field line. That is foul. Low and inside, ball two. Inside, ball three. It's a grounder back to the mound. Drago has it, throws him out. But Boston gets 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Boston 4, Kansas City nothing. In the fourth for Kansas City will be Piniella, Mayberry, and Scheinblum. Lou Piniella is 1 for 1 with a single today. The 1-1 pitch. Base hit in the left field. That's Piniella's second hit today. That brings up John Mayberry. He's 0 for 1. He grounded it into a double play in the first inning. There goes Piniella. Fisk's throw. Piniella's safe with his 3rd stolen base of the year. That pitch was called a strike, so it's no balls, 1 strike. Barry hits a liner into right field. But Smith is right there to make the catch. 1 out. Here's Richie Scheinblum, who's 0 for 1. He flied out to Smith in the second inning. Fastball, in tight, ball 1. Caught the inside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Foul tip, count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball, he hits a little roller to third. Kennedy has it, throws him out. He had time to look Piniella back to second base. So 2 outs. That brings up Carl Taylor, who's 0 for 1. He grounded to Aparicio in the second. Oh, he got hit on the ribs. So runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's Cookie Rojas, who's 0 for 1. He grounded to Cater in the second inning. High and away, ball 1. Hits a grounder to short. Aparicio to second for the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. We played 4 innings here in Kansas City. It's the Red Sox 4, the Royals nothing. In the 5th inning for Boston will be Carlton Fisk, Reggie Smith, and John Kennedy. Fisk is 1 for 2. He has a stolen base today. He singled in the third. That scored Tommy Harper with the first run of the game. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Patek to his left has it. Throws him out. 1 out. Throw was wide, but Mayberry was able to keep his foot on the bag. That brings up Reggie Smith. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Another grounder up the middle that Patek gets to. Throws him out. 2 outs. Here's John Kennedy. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He walked. He scored in the 4th inning. Breaking ball. Another grounder to Patek. Throws him out. Patek was busy that inning. 3 up, 3 down. 3 ground outs to Fred Patek. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It is Boston 4, Kansas City nothing. It'll be the bottom of the order for Kansas City in the fifth. Shaw, Patek, and Drago. Shaw is 1-for-1 with a single today. The 1-2 pitch, fly ball into left field. Gagliano's there. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Fred Patek. He's 0-for-1. He grounded it into a force play in the third. He has a stolen base also that inning. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Marty Patton. That brings up the pitcher, Dick Drago. He's 0-for-1. He grounded out to Griffin in the third. Strike 3 called. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We played 5. It's an official game here in Kansas City. Boston 4, Kansas City nothing. In the 6th inning, Boston has 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They've left 4 men on base. Kansas City has no runs, 3 hits, no errors. They've left 3 men on base. Boston got their first run. It was in the 3rd inning with 1 out. Tommy Harper singled on the infield. Doug Griffin sacrificed him to second, and then Carlton Fisk singled, scoring Harper. That made it 1-0. Then in the 4th, Drago was having some problems with his control. Kennedy led off the inning with a walk. He was sacrificed to second by Phil Gagliano. Aparicio scored, or singled. That scored Kennedy, making it 2-0. Then Cater walked. Marty Patton attempted a sacrifice bunt, but Aparicio was forced out at third. They weren't able to turn a double play. So that left Danny Cater on second, Marty Patton on first, and then Tommy Harper doubled off the wall, scoring Cater and Patton, making it 4-0, and that's where we're at right now. Gagliano leads off 4. Boston in the 6th. He is 0-for-1. He flied out to Scheinblum in the 2nd, and he had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder to third. Shaw, the throw. Too low. Mayberry couldn't dig it out. Gagliano safe on first. They're giving Paul Shaw a throwing error. He's having a bit of a rough day on defense today. That'll bring up Louis Aparicio. He's 1-for-2 with a single. He drove in a run in the 4th. Strike 1 called. Hits a fly ball into center field. Amos Otis drifting over to his left. He's got it. 1 out. It brings up Danny Cater. He's 0-for-1 with a walk today. He scored back in the 4th inning. High and outside, ball 1. Grounder up the middle, Rojas to second for 1. The first double play. Rojas made a nice backhanded play behind the bag. Let's watch that one again. Right off the mound, Rojas to Patek to Mayberry. 4-6-3 double play. No runs, no hits, 1 error, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Boston 4, Kansas City nothing. Amos Otis leads off. It'll be the top of the order for Kansas City in the sixth. Otis is 0 for 2 today. The 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into center field. But Harper's right there, 1 out. That brings up Lou Piniella. He's 2 for 2 today. He has a stolen base. He singled in the first, singled in the fourth. The 2-2 pitch. Another liner in the center field. Harper had a lunge for that one. He brought it in. He robbed Piniella. 2 outs. That brings up John Mayberry. He is 0 for 2 today. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder to second. Griffin has it. Throws him out. 3 outs. Nothing across for Kansas City in the sixth. We played 6. Boston 4. Kansas City nothing. New pitcher for Kansas City. It'll be Bruce Del Canton. Del Canton's making his 11th appearance of the year. He has a record of 3-2 with an ERA of 4.75. He is a soft-throwing knuckleball and curveballer. And like Patek, he came over from the Pirates. His last appearance was against Minnesota. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 runs, no hits, but he walked 4. That was on Thursday. For Boston in the 7th, it will be Patton, Harper, and Griffin. Patton is 0 for 2. He flied to center in the 3rd. And he bunted into a force play in the 4th. The 1-1 pitch. High fly ball into center field. Otis is over. He's got it. 1 out. That brings up Tommy Harper. He's 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. His double drove in 2 runs in the 4th inning. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. I apologize, I got distracted there for a moment. That brings up Doug Griffin, who's 1 for 2. He has a single and a stolen base today. The 3-0 pitch, the knuckleball, ball 4. In 42 and a third innings pitched, he has walked 13. That's Bruce Del Canton's walked 13. He has struck out 24. That brings up Carlton Fisk. He's 1 for 3. He has a stolen base and a run batted in today. His 3rd inning single scored Tommy Harper. Fouls it back, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on a knuckleball. It's a grounder to second. Rojas throws him out. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Here in Kansas City, the Red Sox lead 4-0. Take another look around the league. Top of the 9th in Baltimore. Orioles lead the A's 5-3. Dave Hamilton's out pitching for Oakland. And Jim Palmer's still in there for the Orioles. Mike Epstein hit his 5th home run of the year for Oakland. Final in Detroit, the Tigers beat the Twins 5-2. Ed Brinkman hit his third home run of the year for Detroit. Ron Peronowski got the win for the Tigers. He's 1-0. And Ray Corbin took the loss for Minnesota. He's 0-2. Top of the seventh in Milwaukee, the Rangers lead the Brewers 2-1. Jim Lonborg's pitching for Milwaukee. Bottom of the eighth at Shea Stadium. Rangers lead the Mets lead the Braves 4-2. Because I'm still thinking about the Rangers. They lost the Stanley Cup Finals to the Bruins. That is Jim McAndrew for New York and Cecil Upshaw relieving for the Braves. Upshaw's still attempting his comeback after having almost severed his finger in an accident 2 years ago. Top of the seventh in Comiskey Park, the White Sox lead the Yankees 4-1. Bobby Mercer hit his sixth home run of the year for New York. That is Tom Bradley for Chicago and Fritz Peterson for New York. Top of the ninth in Cleveland, the Angels lead the Indians 10-2. The Angels are looking for their ninth straight win. Eddie Fisher is pitching for California, and Ed Farmer for Cleveland, and Bob Oliver recently of the Kansas City Royals hit his fourth home run for the Angels. And here in the seventh inning, it'll be the heart of the order for Kansas City. Scheinblum, Taylor, and Rojas. Scheinblum is 0 for 2 today. Hitting .398 against right-handers. The 0-1 pitch, he hits a fly ball into right field. Reggie Smith is there, and he's got it. 1 out. It's Carl Taylor. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out, and he was hit by a pitch. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Aparicio to his left has it. Throws. Oh, the throw pulled Cater off the bag. Taylor's safe on first. That's error number 6 of the year for Aparicio. Did a good job getting to that ball, though. Here's Cookie Rojas. He is 0 for 2 today. There goes Taylor to throw. He's out. Fist threw him out. That pitch was a ball. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. He took a chance on stealing on the rookie and was unsuccessful. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Rojas hits a base hit in right field. That is hit number 4 on the day for Kansas City. Here's Paul Shaw. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the third and flied out to Harper in the fifth. Fastball, grounder up the middle. Aparicio dives. Tosses the Griffin for the out. So Aparicio made a great play and an error in this inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We've played 7 here in Kansas City. It's Boston 4, Kansas City nothing. This is WJST, Parma, Norwich, and Tuscaloosa. I will be right back. Okay, and we're back after some refreshing Rocket Fuel malt liquor. If Rocket Fuel malt liquor is good enough for Bill McNeil, it is good enough for me. In the top of the eighth for Boston, it will be the middle of the order. Smith, Kennedy, and Gagliano. Reggie Smith is 0 for 2 with a walk today. The 0-2 pitch. Knuckleball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's strikeout number 2 for Bruce Del Canton. That brings up John Kennedy. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. The 1-0 pitch. Another knuckler. He hits a base hit in the left field. That's hit number 6 for Boston. That'll bring up Phil Gagliano, the left fielder. He's 0 for 2 today. Knuckleball. He swung and missed. That was way out of the zone. Strike 1. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 2. Just high. Ball 1. Gagliano. He's been looks like a pretty good fill-in for Boston this year. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit up the middle. That puts runners on first and second. 1 out. Here's Luis Aparicio. He's 1 for 3. He has an RBI today. He singled in the 4th. That scored John Kennedy. Knuckleball. That one looked like it was almost standing still. Swing and a miss on that one. Strike 1. Swing and a miss on another knuckler. Strike 2. Pops it up. Infield fly rule called. Mayberry takes it. 2 outs. Here's Danny Cater. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk. Knuckleball. That caught the inside corner. Strike 1. Cater. Yeah, I was reading about how he is not a fan of the Red Sox organization. Ball 1. He feels like he got into an early slump, and they put him on the bench too quick. Looking at his numbers this year, he's had a rough season so far. Finally got his average up to over 200 on May 19th. And it's been hovering between .209 and 185 since then. And he had a great year with the Yankees last year. He had .322. At 10 home runs, he drove in 56. And he just has not been able to produce yet, at least for the Red Sox. Knuckleball grounder back to the mound. Del Canton has it, throws him out. 3 outs, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Boston 4, Kansas City nothing. New first baseman for Boston, Bob Burdick, comes in as a defensive replacement for Danny Cater. in the 8th inning for Kansas City. It will be Fred Patek, the pitcher's spot, and Amos Otis. Fred Patek, he's 0 for 2. He has a stolen base today. He grounded it into a force play in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball, in there at the knees, strike 3. That's strikeout number 3 for Marty Patton. Patton's pitched a good game today. Pinch hitting for Del Canton will be Steve Hovley. Hovley's hitting .257, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. Hovley was a teammate of Tommy Harper on the Seattle Pilots in 1969 and with the Brewers in 1970. And then he went over to the Oakland in the middle of the 1970 season, and he played with Oakland last year. He's 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Full count, ball 4. Steve Hovley walks. That brings up Amos Otis. Otis is 0 for 3 today. Lou Piniella's on deck. Fouls it back, strike 1. Underway in San Francisco. Pirates and Giants, no score. Berto Clemente got 4 hits last night. He is 13 hits away from getting 3,000. Pops it up, foul ball, first base side. Berta is after it. But that'll make the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. Grounder up the middle, Aparicio to his left. His only plays the first. 2 outs, Hovley advances to second. That brings up Lou Piniella, who's 2 for 3. He has a stolen base today as well. He singled in the first, and he singled in the 4th. Changeup. He has a base hit in the left field. Hovley runs third. He'll score. It's 4-1. That brings up John Mayberry. He's 0 for 3. But Mayberry, he's a big guy. He could tie this game. Or no, it'd be 4-3 if he hit a home run. He's 0 for 3 today. Changeup. Swing and a miss, strike 1. He was swinging for the fence. Ball gets past Fisk. Piniella takes second. That's a wild pitch. It's a line drive to first. Berta is right there. He's got it. 3 outs. But Kansas City got 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We played 8 here in Kansas City. It is Boston 4, Kansas City 1. Tom Murphy comes in, the pitch for the Royals. He's making his 8th appearance of the year. He has no wins, no losses, no saves, an ERA of 2.76. In 16 1/3 innings, he has given up 15 hits. He has walked 1. He has struck out 12. He's a fastball pitcher, keeps it low. Ground ball pitcher. He came over from Kansas City or from California in the Bob Oliver deal. He faced one batter last night, left after it looked like he tweaked his ankle, I think. He will face Marty Patton, Tommy Harper, and Doug Griffin. Marty Patton is over 3 today. Patton hits a liner down the right field line. That's fair. In the corner. This will be extra bases. Patton is in with a stand-up double. That got past Mayberry. He wasn't able to do anything with it. That'll bring up Tommy Harper. He is 2 for 4 today. He singled on the infield in the third, and he doubled in the fourth. That drove in 2 runs. It got past Taylor, but Patton holds up at second. So 1 ball, no strikes. 10th inning in Chicago. Yankees and White Sox tied it up. Yankees tied that game up. Curveball on the inside part of the plate, strike 1. Just outside, ball 2. Inside, ball 3. Base hit in the right field. Patton rounds third, but he'll hold. It's hit number 3 today for Tommy Harper. That brings up Doug Griffin, who's 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. He has a stolen base today as well. They're going to pull the infield in. Carlton Fisk is on deck. Hits a grounder to third. Shaw has it. Patton can't move. Throws him out at first. Tommy Harper takes second. So 1 out. Infield remains in. Carlton Fisk, he is 1 for 4. He has a run batted in and a stolen base today. He singled in the third. That scored Tommy Harper. Strike 1 called on a fastball. High and outside, ball 1. Curveball, ball 2. Just below the belt, strike 2. Base hit in the left field. Patton scores. Harper rounds third. He'll score. It's 6-1 Boston. That's 3 runs batted in for Fisk today. That brings up Reggie Smith, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. Fastball. Strike 1 called. Ball 1. Ball 2. Pops it up on the infield. Rojas takes charge. He's got it. That's 2 outs. Here's John Kennedy. He's 1 for 3. He has a single and a walk. Low, ball 1. Fouls it back. Base hit in the left field. Fisk rounds second. He'll take third. That'll bring up Phil Gagliano. He's 1 for 3 with a single today. That's high. Ball 1. Ball 2. Called strike. A few innings ago, that was not a strike. It's a grounder to second. Rojas up with it. Throws him out. But Boston gets 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Boston 6, Kansas City 1. Be the middle of the order for Kansas City in the 9th. Scheinblum, Taylor, and Rojas. Marty Patton's coming out. He is looking for, let me see, his 4th complete game of the season. Scheinblum is 0 for 3 today. The 0-2 pitch. Base hit in the right field. Griffin couldn't get to that one. That brings up Carl Taylor. He's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. Up around the shoulders, ball 1. Check the swing, but it was in there at the knees. Strike 1. Outside, ball 2. Grounder to first. This could be 2 to second for 1. Throw to first, not in time. 1 out. Taylor's on first. That brings up Cookie Rojas, who's 1 for 3 with a single. High and inside, ball 1. Rojas hits a base hit in the center field. Taylor looked at third, but he stopped at second. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here's Paul Shaw, who's 1 for 3 with a single. Fisk conferring with Patton. Change up, high and inside, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Fastball, strike 1 called. Fouls it back. Count is full. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 4 for Patton. That brings up Fred Patek. He's 0 for 3. He has a stolen base today. He reached first on a force play in the 3rd inning, and he's struck out twice since then. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 1. Another swing and a miss. Strike 2. Strike 3. That's strikeout number 3rd strikeout of the game for Fred Patek. Boston wins it 6-1. Boston had 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They left 9 men on base. Kansas City had 1 run, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 7 men on base. Winning pitcher is Marty Patton. He raises his record at 5-2. And Dick Drago gets a loss. He's 6-5. Patton is named the star of the game. He pitched 9 innings. Nice complete game. 7 hits. He gave up 1 run. Walked 1. He struck out 5. There were 3 tired pitchers pitching for Kansas City today, and Drago and Del Canton actually looked pretty good. Drago went 6 innings. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. He walked 3, struck out 1. Del Canton gave up 2 hits in 2 innings. He walked one, he struck out two. And Tom Murphy was having trouble with his control in the ninth, and he still might be shaking off that injury. It looked like he twisted his ankle, I think, last night and left the game after pitching a one batter. He looked like he didn't have very good stuff today. Tommy Harper went 3 for 5 for Boston with 2 runs batted in. John Kennedy was 2 for 4. Carlton Fisk went 2 for 5. He drove in 3 runs. And for the Royals, Lou Piniella went 3 for 4, and Cookie Rojas went 2 for 4. Richie Scheinblum went 1 for 4. His batting average is still over 400, sitting in at 408. Let's take a look here. Next week's game of the week will be LA at Chicago or Baltimore at Minnesota. That will probably end up being the Dodgers at the Cubs. Oh, no, sorry, that's 2 weeks from today. Next week is the Cubs at the Giants or the Angels at the Red Sox. Giants are just like spinning their wheels in 5th place in the NL West. Cubs are tied for 2nd, along with the Pirates behind the Mets. And it might be the Angels, who have won their 9th game in a row today in Boston against the Red Sox. Once again, the final score for today's game was Boston 6, Kansas City 1. So Kansas City continues to struggle a little bit. And Boston, they're going to remain in 4th place in the American League East. But I hope you enjoyed this game today. Thank you for watching.